You are listening to WBAI, your community radio. I'm Margaret Dominique, and this is Haiti. The struggle continues. The second in a series of programs on Haiti. Today we are going to look at the question of free trade zones, which are cheap labor, tax-free industrial parks presently being built along the Haitian-Dominican border. We will have interviews with activists on the ground in Haiti, as well as a roundtable discussion on this subject with the members of our radio collective in the studio today. They include Christian Lemoine of Réseau Solidarité. Good morning, Christian.
Good morning, Margaret. It was a real pleasure to be here with my fellow comrades who I know have been active in the community for over 20 years.
Also, we have here with us in the studio Daniel Simidor, a Haitian community activist. Good morning, Daniel.
Good morning, Margaret.
And we have Kim Ives, a journalist from Haiti Progress newspaper. Good morning, Kim.
Bonjour, Margaret.
Also in the studio, helping to produce but not behind a microphone, is Marcus Olson of Charlo Jacqueline Committee.
We are a group of progressive activists in the Haitian community who want not only to present and analyze the latest news from Haiti, but also to draw the parallels of our struggles with that of other communities here in New York. It could be said, after all, that Haiti is emblematic of the entire Third World. In this hemisphere, if the U.S. represents power and capital, Haiti represents the oppressed and workers. Haiti had the world's first and last successful slave revolution in 1804. It was then embargoed by the U.S. and Europe for over 6 decades for this achievement. It provided Simón Bolívar with guns and money to liberate South America from colonialism. Our country has experienced not one, but 2 U.S. invasions and occupations in the past century. Haitians are a proud, militant people whose massive demonstrations have shaken New York more than once.
Our next program will be on Saturday from 3 to 5 p.m. We will look at how Haiti fits into the global political economy. We will also look at local issues such as police brutality and immigration. But today, our program is on free trade zones, an issue that concerns not only Haiti, but the Dominican Republic, which has more quote-unquote free trade zones than any other Caribbean country. Now, Dominican businessmen and State Department officials want to export them to Haiti. So stay tuned and put a fresh tape in your cassette recorder, because this is one program you'll want to keep for your archives. And we'll be right back after this brief musical break.
Trade zones in the Caribbean are sometimes referred to as islands within islands. They are fenced-in, low-wage, tax-free assembly enclaves catering primarily to North American and European capitalists. On April 8th, President Jean-Bertrand Aristide traveled to the northeast region of Haiti called Maribarou, 70 kilometers east of Cape Haitian near the border town of Ouanaminthe. There he met with Dominican President Hipólito Mejia for the groundbreaking ceremonies of a 26-factory free trade zone, which, if completed, will straddle the border between the 2 countries. The proposed zone is being funded by $7 million from the M Group, Grupo M, a Dominican investment consortium, which predicts it will have the first 2 plants up and running by early 2003. The businessmen boast that the 2 plants alone will employ 1,500 Haitians and 800 Dominicans during their first 3 years of operations and create 4,000 ancillary jobs. The project is being carried out under the Hispaniola Fund, a U.S. State Department-backed plan whereby the foreign debt owed by the Dominican Republic and Haiti to bilateral and international donors, mainly the U.S. and Inter-American Development Bank, would be redirected into a fund to pay for projects like free trade zones along the Haitian border. But peasants in Maribaru are resisting the proposed zone, which is being constructed on the most fertile plain in Haiti's generally barren northeast and will destroy their farms. We go now to an interview taped yesterday with two analysts in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, Yannick Etienne of the union Bataille Ouvrière, meaning workers' struggle, and Ben Dupuy of the National Popular Party, or PPN, and also co-director of Haiti Progrès newspaper. We go now. Yannick Etienne, we'll start with you. Your organization has done much work organizing in the assembly industries that ring the Port-au-Prince airport. Can you give us an idea of the wages and conditions in these factories, and what kind of wages and conditions we could expect to find in this newly proposed free trade zone?
Okay. The problem... Hello?
Yes.
The problem with exporting processing zone, the free trade zone, is just that they don't respect workers' rights at all. Concerning salary, we're talking about right now in the industrial park, which does not have a free zone status, but the workers earn less than $2 It means that sometimes it's $1.15 or $1.20. I mean, it depends on the cost of living or the exchange rate at that particular time. But when you think now you get the minimum wage is 36 goods, and you need about 28 goods for $1 so you can imagine what kind of salary the workers are getting. And as far as working in the factories, and it's very difficult because there's no enough water to drink. It's hot, and the humiliation that the workers, mostly women, have to deal with, it's unbelievable. And as far as workers to organize, and the factory owners really every time workers start to organize into a union, they break this. They fire people, and they won't allow workers to organize. So you can imagine in part of the northeast, like in Maribaru, and people who will, potentially will working there are people from the peasantry. So they wouldn't even know what's their rights about. So you can imagine, as far as organizing will be something very, very difficult, much more difficult than it is in the industrial park in Port-au-Prince. So, and we already have a taste of what the state is about to do, talking about the peasants who are resisting and the taking up of their land, and they try to seduce them, and they even, on May 1st, we had a demonstration where the state, the government show where it stands against the peasants fighting for their lands. So in view of what we have experienced in Port-au-Prince, with the factories and exporting for American market, and no respect for workers, no respect for even the Haitian, the labor code, the Haitian labor code, where workers could find a little piece of something, to defend their right, but they don't even respect the labor law. And the worst is just that the Ministry of Labor does not do a thing to defend and what's in the book. So you can imagine if it's further away from Port-au-Prince, which is the capital. So in this space, where they're going to put the industrial park in the Maribaru plain, you can imagine how difficult it's going to be for the workers.
Yes, this is a very remote region in northeast Haiti near the border with the Dominican Republic. Mm-hmm. Ben Dupuy, when the government of Jean-Bertrand Aristide emerged for the first time in 1991, it portrayed itself as a nationalist government seeking more independence from the U.S. politically and economically. Isn't a free trade zone a step away from this posture? And how is the government selling the idea of a free trade zone to the Haitian people?
Well, after the Duvalier dictatorship was overthrown in 1986, we experienced the rhetoric of Jean-Bertrand Aristide. At the time, he was a priest in one of the Port-au-Prince slums. And at the time, he had voiced many of the people concerned, not only in terms of freedom, but also in economic terms. And I think what happened is that Father Aristide filled a gap, a political vacuum which existed when Duvalier was overthrown, because the dictatorship didn't allow any sector of the society, even the bourgeoisie, to have its own political party. So the door was open for any demagogue to step in, and that's what happened. So his program was very nationalist, and he attacked U.S. imperialism, which has supported the dictatorship for almost more than 30 years. He talked about the need to develop a national production because our market have been invaded by all kinds of things coming from, especially from the United States. And this is part and parcel of the neoliberal policy, which is being implemented, and especially today with Bush. So today we're seeing that at first his government, President Aristide government, was seen as a threat to U.S. interests. But after the coup d'etat in 1991, he went to Washington, where he practically went to school to learn how to deal with certain real politics. And that's where he was offered either he accepted the neoliberal agenda, or he would be out of the game. So I think he settled with the devil and accepted to return and start implementing the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund dogma, which means neoliberalism. And I think what we're experiencing today is just that. We know that the island, so-called Hispaniola, is shared by Haiti and the Dominican Republic. But the situation is that the Dominican Republic has been implementing this neoliberal policy for quite a while. They have something like 52 free trade zones in the DR. And there are some very, very important Dominican corporations with contracts to export apparel and things like that in the United States. And what happened is that they have come to a certain limit of their quota in exporting. And in order to turn around, in order to go around this problem, then you have this corporation in the Dominican Republic, which is called M Corporation. They practically control all the this kind of export, what they call in Latin America maquiladora. So in order to be able to use Haiti's quota, because of the political situation in Haiti, the instability which exists, and the so-called crisis created by the OAS, the Organization of American States, after the last elections, then what happened is that Haiti has not been able to bring up to his quota. And that's what the Dominicans are trying to get advantage of. In other words, to use Haiti's quota in order to continue for this Dominican outfit, this M Corporation, to export more. And we're talking about big money, because this Dominican it's a trade of about $4 or close to $5 billion. And the other irony is that the Dominican Republic, because of their neoliberal policy and the kind of loan and the kind of debt they have built compared to Haiti, is very large. For example, the Dominican Republic presently have about a public debt, external debt of about $7 billion, whether Haiti has only approximately $1 billion. And we have to remember that $1 billion debt of Haiti is most of it, almost more than half of it, has been appropriated by the Duvaliers, and I think presently some $100 million have been confiscated in Switzerland. And so in fact, all those so-called institutions, international institutions, knew perfectly the kind of corruption that existed during the Duvalier era. And yet, today, they claim that they are going to use this debt instead of paying back to those institutions. They're going to put the money aside so that they can create the infrastructures which those maquiladora, those corporations, need. So, in other words, it's a gift to those corporations.
Yeah, so this is the Hispaniola Fund, which you're referring to, and we hope to return to that. You're listening to WBAI 99.5 FM, and this is Haiti, The Struggle Continues, a special series of programs on Haiti, airing yesterday and today, and also this coming Saturday from 3 to 5. Yannick Etienne of Bataille Ouvrière, we've heard that peasants in the area of Maribarou are resisting the implantation of this free trade zone, which is proposed. What forms has this peasant resistance taken?
Oh yeah, first of all, they did some picket lines, and on May Day particularly, they went for a demonstration, and they have a march all in the city, in that area. And they're still in petitioning the government, and asking questions. You see, one of the problems with the Haitian part, there's no information coming out of the government. So we, citizens of the country, we have to learn all those facts, that the Grupo Aimé, the Dominican Republic, the company that is coming, the day before Aristide was going to sign the contract with the company. So the local authorities are not informing the public. The Haitian Parliament it does not have any, let's say the contract that Aristide signed, on April 8th. It was not presented at the Haitian Parliament. So we are not informed at all with what happened with what they negotiated, what deal they made with Washington and the Dominican and politicians or business people to turn those 80 hectares of, maybe 80 acres, of Haitian land for making a free trade zone. So we are not informed. Even the Hispaniola Fund, we do not have that much more information about what kind of infrastructure project, they besides the free zone that we're talking about. So that's one of the problems. So since we do not have enough information, organizing, to continue organizing, to continue protesting, and it gives us a little bit difficulty. But we know a group of peasants, different peasant organizations, sign letters, and there's a spot on the radio station and protesting against it and saying no, they will not allow the Haitian government to take over the land like this. But the government is still sending technicians to do some kind of surveying, and so far the government has not responded. And the government does not also give information, so the peasants, you will know what they are dealing with. But there are other organizations like NGOs, like PAPDA and GAR and Bataille Ouvrière as a workers' organization. We went on May Day, to have a solidarity march with the peasants there. But we still, voices over the radio, the media protesting. But as far as other movements, we're still discussing about what we should do next. But as I was saying, that the problem is there's not that much information about what the plan is about.
In other words, it's being carried out largely in secret.
Oh, yeah.
Ben Dupuy of the National Popular Party, your party has often warned that the Dominican Army could be used by Washington as a proxy intervention force in Haiti, which presently has no army. Do you think that the proposed free trade zones along the Haitian-Dominican border increases the risk of a conflict between the two countries?
Well, the relations between Haiti and the Dominican Republic has historically been very confrontational, especially from the Dominican side. Like in 1937, the late dictator, President Rafael Leonidas Trujillo, he organized a massacre at the border where 37,000 Haitians were murdered. But at the time, he had the benefit of the support of the United States, so nothing much happened. And also at the time, Haiti was just after the U.S. occupation of Haiti, and therefore Haiti's politics were under the sway of the United States. So this didn't bring any armed conflict between the two countries. But not only is this historical thing, but also it is well known that the sugar industry in the Dominican Republic depends on the labor force of Haiti. A lot of Haitians are packed into those called batailles, and they're exploited. And then after the Safra, which means each year after they finish the cutting of canes, and they are deported drastically without very often without even receiving their salaries, and they are thrown outside of the frontier of the border, and then they send also other people to pick up some more. So it's a constant exploitation of the Haitian labor force, far from mechanizing their sugar industry, as that happened in Cuba, for example. They think that it's cheaper to use Haitian labor in order to be able to increase their profit.
And Ben Dupuy, what will be the police force that will oversee these free trade zones? Is that clear yet?
Well, so far, I think we have seen pictures where people demonstrating in the Maribau, the border, where they're going to set up this first free trade zone, and we have seen that the people were kept at bay by Dominican soldiers. So you can see what kind of militarization that might take place, and also because of the financial interests of Dominican businessmen, we wouldn't be surprised that they rely on the military forces of the Dominican Republic. So anyhow, as more and more people become aware of this deal, which is the antithesis of the political stand by President Aristide. We know that it's the Lavalas party. His party is called Lavalas Party, and they were elected on the basis of transparency and participation. But as Yannick was pointing out, this deal was completely out of knowledge of anyone, and it's between the State Department, the Dominican Republic government, the new Social Democrat government, and President Aristide, who is eager to show to the United States and to the present administration that he's a good student and that he is ready to repress the masses, to repress the people who are protesting this deal.
Finally, Yannick Etienne, what do you say to people who say that Haitians are starving, they need jobs, unemployment in Haiti is estimated over 70%, particularly in the impoverished corners of Haiti, like the Northeast? What do you say to them when they ask what harm a free trade zone can do in Haiti to bring jobs where there are none?
Yeah, you see, I remember while we were doing the campaign against the Disney company, Walt Disney company received a kind of clothes, children clothes made in Haiti, and people were asking why you are fighting against this company because the people are starving in Haiti. We're saying yes, people are starving in Haiti due to the fact that they are exploiting the workers. Because can you imagine, let's say a worker earns less than $1 a day. How can they survive? What's the difference between starving without $1 and starving with $1, where you can even eat, where you can feed your children, you can do anything? So the question is not that we don't want development, we do not want industrial industries in the country. We want jobs. We need jobs, of course, but not at any price. People coming with the EP, the free zone, it means hell for the workers. It means exploitation, low salary. It means that the companies are getting all the good things, all the fiscal exoneration. They're not gonna have to pay taxes or tariff, whatever. All to help the rich companies or the rich countries. But as far as the poor countries, they're still gonna be poorer and poorer. So this is not the solution for our poverty. The solution for the situation of people are starvation in Haiti is the question of what kind of economic development, what kind of economic that you want. If it's in the neoliberal mode, it's not gonna help the people.
And that was Yannick Etienne of the Union Bataille Ouvrière and Ben Dupuy from the National Popular Party speaking with us yesterday about the free trade zones in Haiti. You are listening to Haiti, the Struggle Continues on WBAI 99.5 FM. We go now to Lodi Auguste and Conscience.
Marcher dans tout raccoin pour me connaître ça qui gagne. Moi passer toute maladie la vie, presque même calvaire, chalma et pirate. Et pitié pour si là qui pipiti, mission ça, on accompli. Même bête l'embois, pas quitter, péri. Victoire pour la reine victoire, c'est parler des victoires coulières. Après Dieu la route, Dieu la vie, nous toutes faites pour nous gagner même droit. C'est pas quand on vous frappe, pour nous prier, vivre plaisir gailleux. C'est pour nous capables de penser, ça nous